You probably have a plant in your house that just sits there. A little corner of green that seemed like a good idea at the store. Maybe it made the room feel fresher or reminded you of something alive in the middle of daily routines. But what if that plant, the quiet one you don't really notice anymore, is already shaping your energy, your mood, your decisions, even your fortune? Feng Shui doesn't ask you to believe in magic. It doesn't demand rituals or rearranging your entire life. But it does invite you to notice what's been quietly affecting you this whole time, especially what's living in your space. In 2026, energy shifts are expected to be big and fast. For many, that means life might feel a little louder, a little more urgent, even if on the surface, nothing seems to change. And that's exactly why the plants you choose now, the ones rooted in stillness, balance, or quiet growth, can do more than decorate. They can guide. This video isn't about houseplants as trends. It's about 16 very specific, very intentional plants, each with a kind of energy that supports something essential: wealth that feels secure, health that doesn't waver, relationships that don't drain you. Not all of them are flashy. Some are humble. Some almost invisible. But when placed in the right spot at the right time, for the right purpose, they can become allies. So if you've been wondering why your home feels a little stuck, or why rest never quite feels like rest, or why opportunities pass without landing, this might be the quiet shift you didn't know you needed. Because sometimes, it's not what you change, it's where you let something start growing. Part 1: Plants that invite wealth without forcing it. 1. Bamboo, the gentle dragon. Not all wealth feels like a win. Some money comes fast and leaves just as quickly. Some success feels loud, exhausting, and somehow still empty. But then, there's another kind. The kind that grows quietly, steady-rooted. And that's where bamboo comes in, not just as a plant, but as a quiet force of clarity in your home. At first glance, lucky bamboo doesn't look like much. It's small, simple, often coiled into soft spirals or braided into a calm pattern, like something meant for a desk or a shelf. But behind that soft green, there's a symbol that's been known for centuries as the gentle dragon, a being that doesn't breathe fire, but clears the path, a protector, not a warrior. This plant doesn't demand attention. It doesn't chase, it attracts. Bamboo holds a rare balance. It belongs to the wood element, a symbol of growth, but when placed in water, it draws from flow, emotion, nourishment. That balance of wood and water mirrors a truth many of us forget: fortune doesn't just come from action, it comes from alignment. Right plant, right place, right time. Bamboo embodies that perfectly. And that's why, when you set it in the southeast corner of your home, the wealth area, it doesn't just look nice. It becomes a station for energy. A signal to your space and your spirit we're ready to grow, but not to rush. So many people say the same thing after bringing bamboo into their home. The house feels calmer. I'm not forcing things as much. And somehow money feels less like a battle. That shift isn't loud. It's quiet, the kind of quiet that comes when resistance leaves the room. And maybe you've been needing that kind of quiet. Maybe this is the year you don't chase success. You let it find you. In a year like 2026, full of fast shifts and loud distractions, having something soft but strong, rooted but flowing, can become your anchor. The bamboo doesn't ask for much. Just water, a little light, and your willingness to stop forcing what's meant to arrive gently. Because not all dragons roar. Some protect you in silence. And this one? It stands in the corner, green and coiled, waiting to open a path not just to more but to enough. Are you willing to grow without pushing? Or do you still believe wealth has to come with noise? 2. Jade, the one that holds on for you. Some things don't just bring in abundance, they help you keep it. In a world where wealth often feels like water slipping through your fingers, the jade plant is a quiet reminder that some energies are meant to stay. You don't have to keep starting over. You don't have to keep chasing. Sometimes you just need something that holds on. The jade plant doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't bloom dramatically. But look closer, its leaves are round and thick, almost like tiny coins resting gently on each branch. There's a fullness to it, a quiet weight. It feels like something dependable, something that doesn't come and go with every shift in season. And maybe that's why people who keep jade in their homes often say the same thing: it feels safe here. Like nothing important is leaking away. If bamboo is the invitation, then jade is the embrace. Where bamboo flows, jade grounds. It says, let it grow and let it stay. That kind of energy is rare. Not flashy, not quick, but deeply valuable, especially in 2026, when everything around you may be moving faster than you want it to. Jade brings a different pace, one that favors roots over reach and stability over spectacle. It's not uncommon to find a jade plant that's been in a family for decades. Passed down, grown quietly in a corner, watered gently over the years. It grows with you, and in many ways, it reflects you. If its leaves are full and glossy, it often means the space around it is well balanced, emotionally clear, and quietly prosperous. But if it starts to wilt, it doesn't accuse, it simply whispers. Slow down, check in, care more gently. Not just for the plant, but for yourself. Jade is the kind of plant that pairs well with transitions, new homes, retirement, second chapters. It offers a sense of continuity when life feels unfamiliar, and because it doesn't demand much, just a little sunlight, a little care, it fits right into the rhythm of a home that values presence over performance. The kind of home where nothing needs to be perfect, just tended to with intention. Maybe you've reached a point in life where you're no longer interested in fleeting luck. You want something that stays, that steadies you, that says, without needing to say it out loud, I'm still here. And so is everything you've worked so hard to keep. The jade plant does that, not by growing fast, but by never letting go. And sometimes, that's all you really need, something in your space that believes you don't have to earn peace, you just have to protect it. Quietly, day by day. 3ZZ plant for those who don't want to hustle anymore. There comes a point, and maybe you've felt it too, when ambition starts to feel heavy. When chasing the next thing doesn't spark joy but drains it. When you're no longer interested in climbing ladders, pushing through noise, or staying busy just to feel productive. It's not that you've stopped caring. It's that your soul is asking for a different kind of wealth, one that doesn't cost your peace to earn. And that's where the ZZ plant enters the story. The ZZ is often called the money plant by those who follow modern Feng Shui, but not because it brings flashy wins or wild fortune. Quite the opposite. It brings enduring stability, the kind of abundance that shows up quietly and stays. You won't hear it knocking. You won't even notice it growing at first. But it's working underground, inward, gently anchoring your space with the message, let fortune come to rest. Let it settle here. Its leaves are waxy and rich, dark green with a quiet sheen, not vibrant, not loud, but deeply alive. They rise symmetrically from thick stems like open hands, as if the plant is simply receiving, not reaching, just receiving. And that image alone has changed the way many people think about money, effort, and worth. It's no coincidence that so many people place the ZZ plant near workspaces, cash counters, or entryways. They're not hoping for a windfall, they're welcoming stability. And here's the part most people miss: the longer the ZZ lives, the thicker and darker its leaves become. It doesn't fade, it deepens. The energy it brings isn't seasonal, it's built over time, like wisdom, like trust, like a relationship with yourself that no longer needs to prove anything. There's something profoundly healing in that. Especially for women in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, for anyone who has carried the weight of work, family, expectations. The ZZ feels like a mirror that says, you don't have to try so hard anymore. You've already done enough. Many people who bring this plant into their space say the same thing within weeks: I feel less rushed. Some notice improved sleep. Others find decision-making becomes easier, like clarity quietly returned. One woman shared, it's not that more money came in, but I stopped leaking it everywhere. It just stayed. That's the difference between flashy luck and grounded fortune. One dazzles, the other holds. What's more, the ZZ plant is nearly indestructible. It needs very little indirect light, minimal watering, and a little attention now and then. And yet, it thrives. This resilience isn't accidental, it reflects the kind of life many of us are learning to value: sustainable, unhurried, deeply rooted in what matters. In 2026, a year likely to feel fast, changing, even overwhelming at times, the ZZ becomes a steady anchor, not only for your space, but for your mindset. It reminds you that calm is productive, that rest is necessary, that you don't have to earn rest, you just have to allow it. If bamboo asked you to flow, and jade asked you to hold, then ZZ asks you to receive. Not more chaos, not more movement, but a kind of wealth that waits for you to slow down enough to notice it's already arrived. Maybe you don't want the next promotion, the next project, the next hustle. Maybe what you want now is peace that pays off. If that's true, then this plant, with its strong spine and open hands, is already speaking your language. So place it somewhere quiet, somewhere central. Let it sit with you in silence. Let it remind you gently that your energy is too precious to waste on endless reaching. Because what's meant for you in 2026 won't need chasing. It will recognize you the moment you stand still. Part 2: Plants that soothe you back to center. 4. Phalaenopsis orchid grace that's been through storms. Some beauty whispers. It doesn't rush to bloom, doesn't need applause, but when it arrives, you pause. You breathe differently. That's the kind of presence the Phalaenopsis orchid carries. It's not here to impress. It's here to remind you what grace looks like after you've weathered a storm. Often called the Queen of Orchids, the Phalaenopsis doesn't demand attention yet, it holds it effortlessly. Its long, arching stems carry blooms that seem almost weightless, like they're floating just above the noise of life. But behind that softness is something much deeper: resilience. This isn't a flower of perfection. It's a flower of persistence, of quiet elegance that doesn't fade. When life gets hard, it adapts. It stays. There's a reason this orchid is cherished in Feng Shui, not just for beauty, but for its energy. It brings balance, especially emotional balance, into the spaces we live in. It calms without silencing. It softens without shrinking. When placed in a living room, a meditation space, or near a family altar, it doesn't just freshen the space, it holds it together. And for many women who feel like they're holding everything: the job, the kids, the aging parents, the emotional weight no one else notices, that kind of energy becomes a companion, not just a plant. In a year like 2026, with its shifts and speed and noise, having something in your home that reflects stillness without stagnation is a quiet act of self-care. The Phalaenopsis doesn't bloom in haste. It can take weeks, even months. But when it blooms, it lasts. And when it's well cared for, it blooms again. Just like you have, just like you will. People often describe this orchid as elegant, but that word doesn't capture it fully. Its energy is more than elegance, it's endurance, in silk form. It doesn't try to be loud or perfect. It simply is. Beautiful. Still. Present. And that's what makes it so powerful in a home. It changes the emotional temperature without saying a word. If you're someone who's felt pulled in too many directions lately, if you've been craving peace, not just as an idea, but as a lived experience, if you're learning to receive beauty without earning it, then this is the flower that might feel like a mirror, a reminder that your softness is not weakness, that your quiet is not invisibility, and that your home and your heart deserve something that reflects the grace you've carried through every season. Sometimes peace doesn't come from stepping away. It comes from sitting beside something that's already at peace. Let the orchid be that for you. 5. Peace plant, the quiet listener. Not everything in your home has to speak to be heard. Some things and some people simply hold space. They don't offer advice. They don't demand energy. They just stay. And in that stillness, you begin to feel seen. That's the role of the peace plant, a quiet listener that asks nothing, but gives everything in return. Small, lush, and understated, the peace plant doesn't try to impress. It won't climb walls or spill over with color. But when you place it on a desk, a shelf, or beside your bed, the room softens. It's subtle, but immediate. Something shifts. The atmosphere changes like a sigh you didn't know you were holding in. And maybe that's why this plant has become a favorite among those who don't want more stimulation, they want relief. In Feng Shui, the peace plant is known for absorbing emotional tension in a space. It doesn't just purify the air, it purifies the energy. It's broad, Dark green leaves almost feel like open palms, steady, cool, gently collecting the emotional weight in the room so you don't have to. This is the kind of plant that thrives with very little low light, low maintenance, almost no fuss. And yet, it gives so much in return. It's especially powerful in bedrooms, meditation corners, and spaces where overthinking tends to pile up. For those who carry worry in their chest, for those who replay conversations long after they're over, the peace plant becomes a kind of quiet witness, always present, never intrusive. In a year like 2026, where uncertainty may linger even after things appear back to normal, we'll need reminders that peace isn't always about silence. Sometimes it's about being surrounded by what doesn't drain us, what doesn't overwhelm or overstimulate, what simply holds us gently while we figure things out. One woman once told me, "I bought it because it was pretty, but now I sit near it every evening, and somehow I exhale more deeply there than anywhere else in my house." That's the difference between something decorative and something restorative. If you're someone who needs fewer words and more warmth, if you've been giving too much, holding too much, or feeling like you always have to be on, the peace plant doesn't just belong in your home. It belongs in your line of sight. So you remember, you can rest here. You don't have to explain yourself to be worthy of calm. Place it where the light is soft, where your heart feels heavy, where your mind spins the most, and then just let it be. Let you be. Because sometimes, the loudest healing begins where nothing speaks and everything listens. 6. Wishing tree, the prayer without words. There's a kind of hope that doesn't raise its voice. It doesn't ask. It doesn't plead. It simply folds its hands quietly, gently, and waits. That's the energy of the wishing tree. Not a symbol of what we want, but of how we hold space for what's coming. At first glance, it's easy to miss. The leaves are soft, not striking. Its presence doesn't fill the room, it fills the air. But what makes this plant remarkable isn't how it looks. It's what it does, quietly, every day. As daylight fades, its leaves fold together like palms in silent prayer. Then come morning, they slowly unfurl as if opening to receive grace. That simple, daily ritual, unseen by most, carries the entire essence of emotional surrender. In Feng Shui, the wishing tree is used to restore balance in places that feel restless, energetically crowded, or spiritually off. It doesn't fix the chaos. It doesn't overpower it. Instead, it invites a softer rhythm into the room, one that reminds you it's okay to let go for a while. It's okay not to know what's next. This is the kind of plant that belongs beside a meditation cushion, by your bed, near a window where morning light feels tender. Not because it needs light, but because it responds to it, the way your spirit does when given time. It blooms back open. People often say they feel calmer around the wishing tree without knowing why. Some place it in rooms where tension lingers. Others keep it near journals, prayer corners, or simply where they sit with coffee and silence. It becomes part of a routine that's not performative, just quietly sacred. This is especially important in a year like 2026, a year where many will be rebuilding quietly, still carrying fatigue from decisions, delays, and detours. The wishing tree is for those who don't need answers yet, just the feeling that they're not alone in the waiting. Its presence is like that of a friend who doesn't speak, but sits beside you until your breath slows. Maybe you've outgrown loud motivation. Maybe all you crave now is a space where you don't have to explain your tiredness, your questions, or your heart. The wishing tree doesn't ask you to be strong. It doesn't push you to grow. It simply folds its leaves, day after day, like a whisper. Rest here. You're allowed to believe without knowing. In a world full of noise, of declarations and demands, this is the plant that reminds you faith doesn't always need a voice. Sometimes, it just needs a place to wait. Part 3. Plants that reignite you when you're running on empty. 7. Red aglaonema, a morning bell in plant form. Some mornings, the light filters in, but it doesn't reach you. You go through the motions, make the bed, start the coffee, answer the messages, but something inside you stays dim. Not broken, not depressed, just dim. And you're not sure when it started. That's the moment when something small, something alive and vibrant can become your first spark back. That's the gift of the red aglaonema. At a glance, it's impossible to ignore. Its leaves are bold swirls of red, pink, coral, and green, as if someone painted movement into each stem. But this isn't a plant that screams. It doesn't cheerlead or overwhelm. It simply reminds you that energy exists. That beauty still pulses. That something bright can live quietly in your space, asking nothing from you but light and a little water, and in return, offering color where you've only been seeing gray. In Feng Shui, the red aglaonema is associated with activation. Not wild, chaotic energy, but reignition. It gently breaks dullness, shifts sluggish energy. It's like a morning bell, not loud, not jarring, but clear. It tells the space, wake up. It tells your mind, feel again. It tells your heart, you're still here. This plant thrives in low light, making it ideal for homes that don't get full sun. And yet, its colors remain vibrant, refusing to fade. That resilience is part of its magic. It grows even when things aren't ideal. And in doing so, it models what quiet strength looks like. Not the kind that hustles or forces, but the kind that survives with grace. For many people, especially women navigating midlife, this plant becomes more than decoration. It becomes a signal that now is the time to reawaken the part of you that's been running on autopilot. That there's still space in your life for joy that doesn't ask for performance, for color that doesn't demand perfection, for movement that feels natural, not forced. You may want to place this plant where your mornings begin, near the kitchen window, on the desk where you open your laptop, or by the mirror where you once used to pause longer. Let it be one of the first things you see. Let it be the reminder that brightness doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. The red aglaonema doesn't rush you. It just sits vivid, alive, waiting, like a hand gently reaching into your morning and saying, "You're not tired of life. You're just out of light." In 2026, when momentum may return before your body feels ready, let this be the anchor that paces you, the spark that doesn't burn you out, but warms you back to life. One glance, one breath, one soft reminder at a time. 8. Aloe vera, the resilient one. Some plants don't need to be noticed to thrive. They don't ask for daily attention or perfect conditions. They just grow steadily, silently, even when forgotten. And when you finally look their way again, they're still standing, still alive, still ready to offer healing. That's aloe vera, a plant that asks almost nothing and gives everything. Aloe is one of the few plants that has lived in both the world of science and the world of spirit. It's used in medicine, skincare, wellness rituals. But in Feng Shui, its meaning goes deeper. It's not just a healer of the body, it's a protector of the home, an absorber of negativity, a restorer of strength. And for people who've been giving so much of themselves for years, holding up households, carrying others through loss, transition, illness, aloe speaks to something intimate, the kind of healing that doesn't need an audience. Its thick, fleshy leaves hold water like memory. Like someone who learned to store energy in hard seasons, it can go days without care, endure strong light, and still remain green and upright. That kind of quiet resilience is not only inspiring, it's familiar to anyone who's ever held everything together while feeling like they were falling apart inside. Aloe says you don't need to be perfect to keep growing. You just need to not quit. In Feng Shui, aloe is often placed near windows, entrances, or even outside the front door, where it acts like a gentle filter, cleansing the energy that enters your space. Its sharp leaves are not aggressive, they're protective. They create boundaries, not walls. And in that way, aloe becomes more than a plant. It becomes a lesson about what you're allowed to say no to, about what can be softened and what needs space. Many people keep aloe in their kitchens or bathrooms, places of daily routine and care. And yet, its energy is anything but ordinary. It reminds you that healing doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's slow, subtle, private, a process you don't post about, just live through, one quiet day at a time. In 2026, as new beginnings bloom but old fatigue still lingers, aloe stands as a guide for recovery without pressure, for rebuilding your strength without rushing your timeline, for saying, "I've been through things, but I'm still here. And I'm stronger now, not harder, just deeper." If you've been looking for a sign to let yourself rest, to give your body, mind, And spirit, the same care you've always given others, let aloe be that sign. Let it sit where you drink your tea, or near the place you exhale at the end of the day. Let it remind you that resilience isn't about being tough. It's about knowing when to replenish. And that even when you've been overlooked or undernourished, your strength is still growing quietly inside you. Aloe doesn't bloom with flowers. It doesn't demand praise. It simply survives and thrives with quiet power, just like you have. 9. Spider plant a gentle stream in leaf form. Some energy doesn't burst in. It seeps, like light through a sheer curtain or water across a smooth stone. That's the energy the spider plant brings. It doesn't demand transformation. It simply shifts the air slowly, kindly until your nervous system exhales. And you don't even realize how much tension you were holding until it starts to melt away. With long, arching leaves striped in soft green and white, the spider plant flows like movement itself. Its shape resembles falling water, cascading gently over the edge of a pot, like a whisper in the corner of the room. And that's exactly where it shines, in the unnoticed corners, the places where stagnant energy hides. In Feng Shui, these are often sharp-angled spaces, under shelves, beside cabinets, areas that collect more than dust. They collect emotional buildup. And this plant, without fuss or force, helps wash it away. What makes the spider plant so special isn't just how it looks, it's how it behaves. It purifies the air. It adapts to almost any light. And when it's healthy, it sends out small shoots like tiny green comets that grow into new plants. In other words, it multiplies. Quietly, gently. Just like the kind of peace we often forget is possible. For many people, especially those in emotionally busy households, the spider plant becomes more than decor, it becomes a stabilizer. Not through resistance, but through yielding. It absorbs what the room can't. It eases what the people inside it don't know how to name. Children sleep better near it. Conversations feel softer. Arguments lose their edge. And while that may sound subtle, that's the whole point. The most powerful changes often are. In 2026, a year expected to be fast-moving and mentally full, the spider plant offers a kind of medicine that doesn't come in a bottle: emotional spaciousness. It doesn't ask you to do more. It asks you to feel less burdened by what you're already carrying. This is the plant for people who don't want to push through anymore. For those who've done the work, the healing, the organizing, the caring, and now need somewhere safe to land. It brings emotional ease, not through deep introspection, but through presence, through breath, through beauty that doesn't shout. Place it near where you decompress, beside your bed, near a reading chair, at the corner of your kitchen table where sunlight touches the floor in the afternoon. Let it do what it's here to do: clear the invisible weight, soothe the sharp edges, and remind your nervous system what calm feels like. Because you don't need one more thing to manage. You need something that manages energy for you quietly, lovingly, like a gentle stream you didn't even realize was flowing all around you. And sometimes, just knowing it's there, growing, softening, flowing, is enough to change the whole room. Maybe even the whole day. Part 4: Plants that mend tension and reconnect you. 10. Pothos, the family peacekeeper. Not every argument needs to be won. Not every silence needs to be filled. Sometimes, what a home needs most isn't more conversation, but less static. Less edge, more softness between the words. That's what pothos offers. Not as a miracle cure, but as a quiet buffer between emotion and reaction, a living reminder that tension can be softened, even when it can't be solved. With heart-shaped leaves that trail and stretch like soft ribbons, pothos doesn't grow in straight lines. It flows. It adapts. It finds space where it can, reaching gently, never pushing. And maybe that's why so many people describe its energy as kind, because it moves like someone who knows how to listen before speaking. Who doesn't escalate, but diffuses. Who knows that sometimes the best response is a breath. In Feng Shui, pothos is often placed in areas where relationships are tested: living rooms, shared workspaces, kitchens where days begin and fray. Not because it erases conflict, but because it absorbs tension like a sponge, softening the emotional field of a room so connection feels possible again. And for households navigating change, growing children, aging parents, blended families, second marriages, this small plant becomes a steady presence. One that doesn't need anyone to be perfect to feel at peace. What makes pothos even more special is how it grows. It thrives in water or soil. It asks very little, some light, a little trimming, the occasional drink, but it gives a lot. Its vines drape gently from shelves or stretch along mantles, offering movement without mess, life without noise. It doesn't try to dominate a space. It simply joins it, smoothing the edges. One mother once said, "I placed pothos in the room where my teenage son and I always argued. I didn't expect much, but within weeks, I noticed we both stayed calmer. The space just felt easier." Whether you believe in energy or not, it's hard to argue with atmosphere. And pothos changes atmosphere in a way few things do. In 2026, as life continues to ask more from us, more communication, more compromise, more emotional bandwidth, this plant reminds us that homes don't have to be perfect. They just have to feel safe, and safety often begins in the space between people. The pauses, the tone, the shared breath. Pothos quietly nourishes those spaces. So place it where the tension usually builds. Let its leaves fall softly over the sharp corners. Let it grow near where your family gathers, not to fix the hard conversations, but to hold the room gently around them. To say, without a sound, we're still growing, and we're still together. Because sometimes, the most healing thing in a family isn't who's right, but who's willing to stay soft. 11. Coleus, the heart opener. Some plants don't whisper, they radiate. They walk into the room with color, with presence, with a kind of emotional warmth you can't explain but immediately feel. That's Coleus. Its leaves look like a painting, deep reds, vibrant purples, golden edges, a living expression of emotion, layered and complex. And maybe that's why it feels so human. Because it doesn't hide how it feels, it shows it, boldly, softly, honestly. Coleus isn't about balance, it's about invitation, an energetic nudge to open back up, to reconnect, to express even imperfectly. In Feng Shui, it's often placed in spaces where relationships feel muted, flat, or emotionally distant. It brings a kind of color therapy into the energy field, not just visual brightness, but emotional warmth. It reminds the people in the room you're allowed to feel. You're allowed to reach again. If pothos is the peacekeeper, Coleus is the icebreaker. It doesn't push. It encourages. It warms the air in subtle ways, the kind that softens your voice before you speak, or makes it just a little easier to say, "Can we talk?" This plant is especially powerful in shared spaces, living rooms where connection has grown quiet, home offices where stress lingers, entryways where energy first arrives. And for those who've gone through emotional retreat after loss, burnout, long-distance silence, Coleus becomes a gentle call to return, not just to others, but to yourself. Its care is simple: light, water, trimming. But what it gives back is harder to measure and more profound. People often say that having Coleus nearby makes them feel more alive. One woman shared that, after placing it by her front window, neighbors started stopping by again. Conversations picked back up. It wasn't the plant, of course, but it was the openness the plant reminded her to create. In 2026, when life may still feel guarded, when emotions feel layered and tender, Coleus offers a mirror not to who you've been, but to who you still want to be in connection with others. More expressive, more willing, more available to joy, to reconciliation, to letting people back in. If you've been holding your heart behind old disappointments or quiet resentment, if you've wanted to reconnect but didn't know where to start, let this be the bridge. A bright, beautiful presence in your space that whispers, "Try again, speak again, feel again." Let it sit in the space where you hesitate most, where you've been quieted too long. Let its colors stir something in you, something soft, something brave. Because maybe the people around you don't need you to fix everything. Maybe they just need you to open the door. And maybe you do too. Part 5: Plants that guard, guide, and lift you up. 12. Snake plant, the silent sentinel. Not all strength needs volume. Some forms of protection don't wear armor or raise alarms, they simply stand. Still, steady, unmoving in the face of what tries to enter your space uninvited. That's the energy of the snake plant, tall, bold, and silent. Like a sentinel watching over your home, asking for nothing but absorbing everything. Its leaves rise straight and pointed, edged in gold or silver, like swords but not weapons. More like boundaries. And in a world where women are often expected to be open, giving, available at all times, there's something deeply healing about a plant that says, you get to have edges too, you get to be protected. In Feng Shui, the snake plant is known for its strength in shielding spaces from negative energy. It doesn't just block emotional noise, it grounds the entire room. Where other plants flow or bloom, this one holds. It's placed near entryways, hallways, corners where energy rushes or gets stuck. It filters the space, like a gatekeeper for your peace. And yet, despite its intensity, there's nothing aggressive about it. The snake plant isn't here to attack. It's here to stand between you and what drains you. It's firm without tension, strong without hardness. A reminder that you can create a life that's both open and guarded, joyful and protected. Many people say they sleep better with this plant nearby, that their home feels safer, even if nothing on the outside has changed. And maybe that's because the snake plant doesn't just clean the air, it stabilizes the energy field. It's not about control. It's about containment, about giving your nervous system the message you're safe here. You don't have to stay alert. Its care is simple. It thrives in low light, it rarely needs water, and it stays tall, even when neglected. For women who've spent years bending emotionally, physically, energetically, the snake plant is a companion that never asks you to bend more. Instead, it reminds you you can stand straight now. You can claim stillness. You can decide what comes near you. In 2026, when many will feel pulled by outside pressures, social, financial, emotional, this plant becomes a pillar. A way to reclaim space, not by shutting down, but by clearing out. A symbol of what you will and will not allow into your peace. So place it near the front door, or in the room where your energy tends to leak. Let it stand tall beside you as a quiet declaration: this space is mine. And not everything gets access to me. Because sometimes, the most spiritual thing you can do is protect your energy like it matters. Because it does. 13. White Knight, the unexpected ally. Not all guidance arrives with fanfare. Sometimes, what helps you take the next bold step doesn't come from a mentor, a book, or a breakthrough. It comes from something quiet, noble, and planted right beside you. That's what the White Knight plant offers. Not direction, but presence. A steady, grounding energy that says you don't have to figure it all out alone. With upright stems and broad, dark green leaves edged in creamy white, this plant feels elegant without being delicate. There's something refined about it. Strong posture, calm energy, like someone who doesn't need to speak loudly to be heard. In Feng Shui, it symbolizes clarity, intelligence, and career movement. But more than that, it reflects the kind of energy we often forget we need: support you don't have to ask for. This plant belongs in places where decisions happen. Offices, creative corners, personal workspaces. But it doesn't just energize thought, it clears it. People often say they think more clearly around it, that they find the words they couldn't access before. That's because it holds space, not for chaos, but for concentration. In a world that pulls your attention in 10 directions, the White Knight gives it back to you. It's especially powerful for women stepping into new phases, launching something, returning to work, reinventing themselves. There's an ancient strength in this plant, not flashy, but assured. It doesn't tell you what to do. It just stands nearby as if to say, you already know. You're just remembering. One woman called it my desk companion. Another said it helped her reclaim her writing voice. For many, it becomes a silent collaborator, encouraging focus, follow through, and a kind of mental stillness that modern life rarely allows. In 2026, when distractions will multiply and reinvention becomes a theme for many, having a plant that acts like a lighthouse, steady, quiet, unwavering, will matter more than ever. The White Knight doesn't bring opportunities, but it helps you recognize them and trust yourself when they arrive. Its care is minimal. It prefers filtered light, occasional watering, and a peaceful spot. It won't wilt in stress or demand attention. Instead, it stands quietly in the background, calm, capable, like someone who sees your potential even when you don't. So place it near where you work, right? Think or dream. Let it be your reminder clarity isn't loud. Confidence isn't rushed. And support doesn't always show up as applause sometimes. It's just a leaf standing tall beside you, quietly saying, "I've got you." 14. Fragrant Dracaena, the quiet wealth builder. Some things grow so slowly, you forget they're changing until one day, everything feels different. That's the kind of wealth the fragrant Dracaena attracts. Not lottery ticket luck, not overnight wins, but something more lasting, wealth that accumulates quietly while you live your life. The kind you don't have to hustle for, only make space for. With tall, upright stems and long, glossy green leaves that fan out softly, the fragrant Dracaena doesn't shout. It doesn't glow with color or spill over with flowers. But its presence holds weight, like someone who's wise with money, grounded in time, and patient with results. In Feng Shui, this plant is known to activate what we call slow, rooted prosperity. Not just financial but energetic clarity, progress, stability, growth. This is the kind of plant you place in forgotten corners, where energy feels stuck, where movement has stalled. And slowly, it changes the atmosphere. Light begins to circulate again. Decisions feel less heavy. Motivation returns in quiet waves. For many women over 50, it becomes a symbol of the kind of wealth that's no longer about more, but about enough that stays. What makes the fragrant Dracaena especially powerful is its resilience. It needs very little care, indirect light, moderate watering, and the patience to let it become what it's meant to be. And when it blooms, rarely, softly, often at night, it releases a light, sweet scent that fills the room like a sign something good is arriving. People who've grown this plant for years often say the same thing: it took time, but when it bloomed, my life shifted. Promotions, health breakthroughs, new chapters. Not because the plant caused them, but because it marked a turning point, an alignment, a signal that what's been building behind the scenes is finally ready to surface. In 2026, when many people will be tempted to rush, to restart, to rebuild everything quickly, the fragrant Dracaena will be a reminder of another path, one where prosperity is built in silence. It doesn't demand performance. It doesn't reward stress. It simply responds to consistency, care, and space. Place it in a hallway, a home office, a transitional area where energy tends to pause. Let it remind you that your home can be a vault for slow blessings, that wealth doesn't have to come with anxiety, and progress doesn't have to feel like a sprint. This is the plant for people who've learned that real abundance isn't about having more, it's about needing less, and trusting that what's meant for you will arrive on time. Not loud, not all at once, but steadily, silently, like a plant blooming at night, filling the room before you even realize something has changed. Part 6. Plants that bear fruit for the faithful. 15. Fiddle leaf fig grows as you grow. There's a reason so many people give up on this plant. It's slow, it's sensitive, it needs a lot of light, of care, of patience. But for those who stay, who adjust, who keep tending even when progress seems invisible, the reward is profound. The fiddle leaf fig doesn't just grow, it mirrors you, quietly, faithfully, leaf by leaf. Tall, sculptural, and bold, the fiddle leaf fig is a statement piece, not just in design, but in energy. It doesn't fit quietly into a corner. It takes up space, and it teaches you how to do the same. In Feng Shui, it's the plant of personal evolution, a living embodiment of someone who's finally aligned with who they are, not who they were told to be. It's not for beginners, not because it's impossible, but because it asks something deeper. Are you consistent when no one's watching? Are you growing even when no one claps? This plant won't reward rushed watering or lazy placement. It won't tolerate dark corners or emotional neglect. But when you find the right conditions and show up for it, it thrives in a way that changes the entire room. Its large, violin-shaped leaves absorb light, like they've been waiting for it their whole life. And in return, they give oxygen, presence, movement, a kind of life force that's impossible to ignore. People who've grown their fiddle leaf fig for years often talk about it like a companion. They've seen it sulk, drop leaves, recover, shoot up new growth, just like they have. This plant belongs in the center of the home, near windows, in places where you can watch it grow slowly, but dramatically. And as it stretches upward, you may find yourself doing the same. Choosing better, speaking more clearly, letting go of what dims you, not because the plant told you to, but because it reflected back your own expansion. In 2026, many people will be ready to step into more not by chasing, but by becoming. That's what the fiddle leaf fig supports. Not quick wins, but deep roots. Not temporary change, but visible, undeniable transformation over time. If you've ever wondered, will it ever be my time? This plant says it already is. You've been growing all along. Let it stand tall beside you. Let it mark this chapter. And let every new leaf remind you, your growth is showing now in ways no one can miss. 16. Orange tree, a bit of sunlight in reach. Some blessings don't arrive as thunder. They come like sunlight, quiet, golden, full of warmth you forgot your skin remembered. That's what the orange tree offers. Not just fruit, not just fragrance, but a return to joy that feels earned. A bit of sweetness within reach after a season of surrender. With glossy green leaves and small, glowing fruits that look like miniature suns, the orange tree is more than decorative. In Feng Shui, it's a symbol of luck that arrives because it's invited, not forced. A sign that your home is now ready to hold joy, not just wish for it. But this isn't a plant that brings wealth through magic. It reflects the wealth that already exists: your patience, your care, your quiet, faithful effort. Orange trees do best with light, real, daily nourishing light. They need consistency, a warm spot. They may take time to fruit, and when they do, it's not loud, it's a small, golden offering, glowing in the corner like a reward only you understand. That's what makes them sacred. You can't rush their sweetness, you just show up for them, and they bloom for you in return. In 2026, this is the plant for women who've stayed the course, who've decluttered not just their homes, but their habits, their relationships, their thoughts, who've made peace with being slower, quieter, more intentional, and who now finally are ready for something delicious to appear. Place your orange tree in a kitchen window, on a patio, or near the morning light. Let it remind you that fruit takes time, and so did you. That warmth still lives here. That joy is not a thing of the past, or something that belongs to younger years. It's now, it's near, it's yours. This is not just a plant, it's a celebration. A bit of sunlight you can reach for each morning and say, I grew this. I grew me. Final. If you've made it this far, maybe it's because you weren't just looking for plants. You were looking for something softer, more rooted, more alive than another tip or trend. You were looking for a home that holds you the way you hold everyone else. Because at some point in life, often after 50, often after loss, or change, or just the long stillness of waiting, we stop chasing energy and start curating it. And that's what these 16 plants were really about. Not just leaves and roots, but mirrors. Each one quietly reflecting what you've already survived and what you're finally ready to invite. Bamboo reminded you that grace doesn't need to shout. Jade held your intentions when you didn't have the words. ZZ plant said, you can rest now and still thrive. And as we move together, from protection to connection, from stillness to growth, a new kind of home began to take shape. Not a perfect one, but a living one, a breathing one where energy is no longer leaking through the cracks, but gently flowing, reflecting your softness, your strength, your faith. You've just met the guardians of that home, the listeners, the reminders, the quiet witnesses of your healing. And whether you adopt all 16, or just one, I hope that as 2026 unfolds, you remember this: your space is not a backdrop, it's an ally. It doesn't just hold your furniture, it holds your future. Thank you for listening with your heart, for letting your attention slow down, for being the kind of person who still believes that the smallest shifts can change the deepest things. I'm wishing you a year of clear air, full light, and rooms that feel like exhale. And when joy arrives, not rushed, but real, may it find you ready, rooted, and blooming.